Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. Your kitchen smells amazing already, but I have to admit, I am very nervous.
Welcome. I am so glad you could come. And please, do not be nervous at all. Baking is supposed to be fun, not stressful. I promise I will guide you through every single step. We are going to make my grandmother's favorite chocolate chip cookies.
Your grandmother's recipe? Aw, that makes it even more special. But I am a complete beginner. I have never baked anything from scratch before. I usually just buy cookies from the store. I am worried I will make a huge mess or burn everything.
That is impossible. We are a team today, and team members help each other. First things first, let's get ready. We need to wash our hands, and I have an apron for you here so you do not get flour on your nice shirt.
An apron? How professional. Okay, I am feeling a little better already. It feels like a real baking show. So, what is the first step, chef?
The very first step in any recipe is to read it carefully. Let's look at the ingredients and the instructions together. It is always good to know the full plan before you start. It helps you feel more organized and calm.
That is a great idea. Reading the plan first sounds much better than just starting and hoping for the best. Okay, I am ready. Let's read the recipe.
Perfect. So the recipe says we need to start with the dry ingredients. That means the things that are not wet, like flour, sugar, and so on. Can you please get the big blue bowl from that cupboard?
This blue bowl, it is beautiful. Okay, I have it. What goes in first?
First, we need 250 grams of all-purpose flour. The digital scale is right there. It is very important in baking to measure everything exactly. It is more like science than regular cooking.
250 grams. Okay, I will be very careful. Wow, this scale is very precise. There, exactly 250 grams of flour in the bowl. What is next on the list of dry ingredients?
Next, we need 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a half teaspoon of salt. The measuring spoons are in the drawer next to you.
Baking soda. I have always wondered, what is the difference between baking soda and baking powder? They sound so similar.
That is a very good question. They both help the cookies to rise and become light and fluffy, but they work in slightly different ways. Baking soda needs an acid, like brown sugar or yogurt, to work. Baking powder already has an acid mixed in. Our recipe uses brown sugar, so we use baking soda.
That makes so much sense. Thank you for explaining. Okay, 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a half teaspoon of salt are now in the bowl. Should I mix them together?
Yes, please. Just use that small whisk to mix all the dry ingredients together lightly. This helps to make sure the salt and baking soda are spread evenly through the flour. Every cookie will taste the same that way.
Excellent! The dry ingredients are ready. Now we can set that bowl aside and start on the wet ingredients. We will need another large bowl for this part.
Okay, I have another bowl. I see butter, eggs, and sugar on the counter. Are those the wet ingredients? I always thought sugar was a dry ingredient.
You are right. Technically, it is dry, but in most cookie recipes, we mix it with the butter first, so it becomes part of the wet mixture.
It is the first step to creating the creamy base for our dough. The recipe calls for 170 grams of softened butter.
Softened butter. I noticed you left it out on the counter this morning. Is that why? So it would not be hard from the refrigerator?
Exactly. Softened butter is much easier to mix. If it is too cold, it will be lumpy. If it is melted, the cookies will spread too much and become flat and greasy. It needs to be just right. This is one of the secrets to good cookies.
I am learning so many secrets today. Okay, so what do I do with the butter and the sugars? The recipe says we need both brown sugar and white sugar.
Yes, we need 100 grams of white sugar and 100 grams of brown sugar. Put the softened butter and both types of sugar into the bowl. Now, we are going to cream them together. This just means mixing them until they are light and fluffy. You can use this electric hand mixer. Start on a low speed.
Creaming the butter and sugar. Okay, I am doing it. Look at the color changing. It is getting much lighter, almost pale yellow. This is so satisfying to watch. How long should I mix it for?
For about 2 or 3 minutes. This process adds tiny air pockets into the mixture. Those little air pockets will help make the cookies soft and chewy on the inside. That looks perfect. The butter and sugar mixture is light and fluffy. You can stop mixing now. What does the recipe say is next?
Let me see. It says to add 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Do I just drop the whole egg in?
It is a good practice to crack the egg into a small, separate cup first. That way, if you get any shell in it, you can easily remove it before it goes into your main mixture. You do not want crunchy shells in your cookies.
Oh, that is a very clever tip. I will definitely remember that. Okay, 1 egg, no shell, going into the bowl. And now the vanilla extract. That smells so good. It smells like cake.
It does, doesn't it? Now, just mix that in gently with the electric mixer on low speed. We only need to mix until the egg and vanilla are just combined, maybe for about 30 seconds.
Okay, it is all mixed. The batter looks very smooth and creamy now. I assume the next step is to add the flour mixture we made earlier?
You are correct. We are going to add the dry ingredients to our wet ingredients, but we should do it slowly. Add about half of the flour mixture first and mix it on the lowest speed. Once that is mixed in, you can add the other half.
Why do we have to do it slowly? Is it just to prevent a big cloud of flour from covering the kitchen?
That is one good reason, but the main reason is to avoid over-mixing the dough. If you mix the flour for too long, the cookies can become tough and hard instead of soft and chewy. We want to mix only until we cannot see any more white flour.
No tough cookies allowed. I am mixing on the lowest speed just until the flour disappears. There. I think it is done. It looks like real cookie dough now. I'm so excited.
It looks absolutely perfect. You are a natural at this. Now comes the best part of all. We get to add the chocolate chips.
Yes, I have been waiting for this moment. How much do we add? Should I just pour the whole bag in?
The recipe suggests about 200 grams of chocolate chips, but my grandmother's secret was to never measure the chocolate chips with the scale. She measured them with her heart. So we will add a generous amount.
I love that secret. Measuring with your heart. Okay, I am pouring them in. That looks like a very good amount. The dough is full of chocolate. Can we add anything else? I noticed you have some walnuts on the counter.
I was hoping you would ask. I thought a few chopped walnuts would add a nice crunch and a nutty flavor. Do you like walnuts?
I love them. That is a brilliant idea. It will make our cookies extra special. Not just chocolate chip, but chocolate chip and walnut.
Great. Let's add a handful of those. Now, for this part, we should not use the electric mixer. It can break the chocolate chips and walnuts into tiny pieces. We will use this spatula to fold them in.
Fold them in? What does that mean?
It's a gentle way of mixing. You just use the spatula to go down the side of the bowl, across the bottom, and then you bring some of the dough from the bottom up and over the top. It is a gentle lifting and turning motion. This mixes everything together without being too rough.
I see. Down, across, and over. It is like a dance. I am folding the chocolate chips and walnuts into the dough. It looks incredible. I cannot believe I am making this.
The dough is completely ready. Now, we need to prepare for the actual baking part. We need to get our baking sheets ready. Can you grab 2 of them from the bottom drawer?
Yes, I have them right here. Do we need to put butter or oil on them so the cookies do not stick?
We could do that, but I have something even better. We are going to use parchment paper. It is a special paper for baking that nothing sticks to. It also makes cleaning up much easier later. Just unroll some and cut it to fit the bottom of the baking sheets.
Parchment paper? This is fantastic. No sticking and easy cleanup sounds perfect to me. Okay, both baking sheets are lined with paper. They look very professional. Now, how do we get the dough from the bowl onto the paper?
We are going to make little balls of dough. You can use 2 spoons, or you can use this special tool. It is an ice cream scoop. It helps to make all the cookies the same size, so they all bake evenly.
An ice cream scoop for cookies? That is so clever. How big should each scoop of dough be?
A scoop that is about the size of a golf ball is perfect for this recipe. Just scoop the dough and then place the ball onto the baking sheet.
Okay, 1 golf ball-sized scoop. And where on the sheet should I put it?
That is a very important question. You need to leave some space between them. I would say about 5 centimeters or 2 inches between each ball of dough. The cookies will spread out a lot when they get hot in the oven. If they are too close, they will bake into one giant cookie.
A giant cookie sounds delicious, but I think we want individual ones today. Okay, I am placing them on the sheet, making sure there is plenty of space for them to grow. This is so much fun!
The baking sheets are ready. The cookie dough balls look perfect. I have already preheated the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, so it is nice and hot and ready for our cookies.
What does preheating mean? Is it just warming up the oven before you put the food in?
Exactly. If you put the cookies into a cold oven, they will not bake correctly. The outside might burn before the inside is cooked. A preheated oven cooks them quickly and evenly. Now I will carefully place these into the center of the oven.
Okay, they are in. How long do they need to bake for? I am so impatient to try one.
The recipe says between 10 to 12 minutes. I will set the kitchen timer for 11 minutes and we can check them then. While we wait, we can start cleaning up a little bit.
Good idea. And while we clean, can we talk about the best way to enjoy these cookies? I think a big glass of cold milk is the perfect partner for a warm chocolate chip cookie.
I completely agree. A glass of milk is traditional. I also love having a cookie with a hot cup of coffee in the afternoon. It is a perfect little treat. Oh, Can you smell that?
I can! Oh my goodness, the whole kitchen smells like butter and vanilla and melting chocolate. It is the most wonderful smell in the world. Can we look at them through the oven door?
Of course. Come here and look. You can see how they are spreading out and getting puffy. The edges are just starting to turn a beautiful golden brown color. They are transforming.
Wow, it is like magic happening in there. They do not look like little balls anymore. They look like actual cookies. I cannot wait for that timer to beep.
And there is the timer. The 11 minutes went by so fast. Let me get my oven mitts. The baking sheets will be extremely hot, so it is very important to be careful.
Please be very careful. I am standing back. I am so excited to see them up close. Are they ready? How can you tell for sure?
I am taking the first sheet out now. Look at that. The way to tell is that the edges are a nice deep golden brown, but the center still looks a little bit soft and slightly undercooked. That is the secret to a chewy cookie.
Oh, I see that. The middle does look very soft. So we do not wait for the whole cookie to look hard and brown.
No, not for this recipe. They will continue to bake for a few minutes on the hot pan even after we take them out of the oven. This is how we get that perfect texture, crispy edges and a soft, chewy middle.
That is fascinating. I would have left them in the oven for much longer, and I guess they would have become hard like a rock. I am learning so much. They look absolutely perfect.
They do. You did a fantastic job. Now we have to practice our patience for just a few more minutes. We need to let them cool on the baking sheet for about 5 minutes. If we try to move them now, they are so soft that they will fall apart.
5 more minutes? This is the hardest part of the entire recipe, the waiting. They smell so good, I just want to grab them right now. But I will be patient. I want a perfect cookie, not a pile of crumbs.
Exactly. After 5 minutes, we can use a spatula to carefully move them from the baking sheet to this wire cooling rack. Cooling them on a rack lets the air circulate underneath, which stops them from getting soggy. Okay, it has been 5 minutes. The cookies are firm enough to move now. I will use this thin spatula to lift them and place them on the wire rack to cool completely.
Look at them. They are real cookies. They have crispy edges and golden tops. The chocolate is melted and gooey. I am so proud of us. I cannot believe I helped to make these. They look like they came from a professional bakery.
You did more than help. You were the head baker today. And I agree, they look absolutely delicious. I think they have cooled just enough for the official taste test. Are you ready?
I was born ready for this moment. Which one should I take? They all look so perfect. I will take this one. It has a big pool of melted chocolate right on top.
Good choice. I will take this one. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow. This is the best cookie I have ever tasted in my entire life. It is still warm. The edges are slightly crispy, but the inside is so soft and chewy and buttery, and the walnuts add the perfect little crunch.
It is pretty good, isn't it? The salt is a nice contrast to the sweet chocolate. This is success. Your first time baking, and you have made a perfect batch of cookies. You should be very proud.
I am more than proud. I am amazed. I always thought baking was too complicated for me, like some kind of difficult science. But you showed me that if you just follow the steps and understand the reasons for them, it is actually very simple and rewarding.
That is the whole secret.
It's just about following the recipe and having fun. And now we have a whole plate of delicious proof.
So, what is the official verdict? Is baking as scary as you thought it would be?
Not at all. It was one of the most fun afternoons I have had in a long time. It was creative and a little bit like a science experiment, and the result is this delicious plate of cookies. Thank you so much for teaching me.
It was my absolute pleasure. Baking is always more fun when you do it with a friend. And now we have to complete the final step of the process.
The final step? What is that?
Enjoying our hard work. I have poured 2 large glasses of cold milk. Let's sit down at the table and properly enjoy a few more of these while they are still warm.
That sounds like the perfect ending. A warm cookie in one hand and a cold glass of milk in the other. We made so many cookies. What will we do with all of them?
We can pack some of them in a nice box for you to take home. You can share them with your family and tell them that you baked them yourself. They will be very impressed.
I would love that. They will never believe I made these. And what about all of these bowls and spoons? We made quite a mess.
We did. That is the sign of a productive day in the kitchen. We can clean everything up together. It will be much faster with 2 people. But not right now. Right now, our only job is to relax and eat these amazing cookies we made.
I agree completely. First cookies, then cleaning. Cheers to our success. This was wonderful.